Hey guys, it's Rachel here, and as you can see, once again, I'm filming from a completely different area. It gets dark here really quickly now since the time changed, and so it's only like maybe 5 o'clock and it's pretty dark outside, so in my library room it has gotten pretty dark, so I went ahead and changed the area we're in. So right now we're in my dining room, so please excuse that, but there's like 5 lights in here, and so what are you gonna do? So today I'm gonna talk about an author that is really dear to my heart and that I want to read everything by, and I am absolutely in love with him, and that author is going to be David Levithan. I absolutely love everything he has written. I discovered him whenever I was watching a booktube channel, as one we always do, and I saw his book every day. I fell in love with the cover and I fell in love with the aspect of it, and I simply just had to have it, so I went ahead and I purchased the book. I let this book sit on my shelf for quite some time before I read it, because sometimes I'm a little bit weird and I'll see books that I want. I love the covers and I just let them sit because I don't ever want to read them, because I don't want the book to ever have to end for me. And so one day I just said, you know what, no, I bought the book to read it, I'm gonna read it. And I read it and I loved it. Absolutely loved the writing style. This book in particular, Every Day, is about a character named A who wakes up every single day in someone else's body. They could be white, black, gay, straight, male, female, it doesn't matter. A wakes up in a different body every single day. And one day A wakes up in the body of a boy named Justin, and he meets his girlfriend Renona and he falls in love with her, and then decides that he wants to be with Renona, and the story kind of takes off from there. I love this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and I am now hearing that he is going to write a companion novel for Every Day, and it's going to be in the perspective of Renona. At first I was unsure if I liked this idea, because I didn't think that Every Day needed a sequel, but the more I think about it, the more I miss this story, and so I'm really excited for when that comes out. Then I couldn't stop. I had to have more books by David Levithan, and so that's what I did. I now have a small collection of David Levithan's works. 2 of these books, How They Met and Other Stories, and Love is the Higher Law. Both of these books are autographed books, and you can see from the inside there's one autograph and there is another autograph. Both of these books I purchased on bookoutlet.com. If you haven't been on that website, I don't know what you're doing with your life. You need to go. If you are a book lover and you haven't been on book outlets, you need to go. But both of these books were on book outlets, both of them autographed. I believe he has a couple of more books that are on there that are autographed, and they were $5. And I said, David Levithan, favorite author, autographed, yes. I have not read either of these books. I'm kind of pacing myself with David Levithan's books because I don't want them to ever end, and so that's what happened with these 2. So when I get to these, I'm sure I'm gonna really enjoy them. Love is a Higher Law is told in 3 different perspectives, and this is kind of telling the story of what 3 different people were doing on September 11th, 2001, or the World Trade Centers when they were hit during the terrorist attack. So that's what this one is chronicling. And this one is just a short, sweet little book that has a whole bunch of different love stories in it, how they met, how they fell in love, and I love it. And so I went ahead and got it. That kind of sweet, different stories kind of goes along with this one as well. And this one's going to be The Realm of Possibilities by David Levithan, of course, again. This one has one school, 20 different students, all telling something a little bit different by themselves, And this one is excellent as well. I love this. It was cute. Some of these this is written, this one happens to be written in verse. And it's so good, and I read this in a day. I couldn't stop. It's fantastic, and I really recommend that if you're going to start reading David Levithan, that you read some of his shorter stories to see if you're going to be into his writing style. This is really good. Another book by David Levithan that I also own is going to be Every You and Every Me. This one is really interesting. This one tells the story of a boy whose best friend has died, and he was in love with her. She dies, and then he's he's reeling still, trying to deal with it. One day he's walking home, he finds an envelope, and there's a whole bunch of pictures in this envelope, and they're all pictures of the area that he's walking in. He doesn't think anything of it. I mean, he thinks it's a little bit bizarre, but he doesn't say much about it. The next day he's walking in the same area, and he happens to pick up another photograph, and this time the photograph is of him. And so then he realizes that somebody is watching him, somebody's taking pictures of him, somebody is seeing what he's doing, and he is trying to figure out what's going on. Now, I believe at the very end he doesn't say what happens to the girl until the very end of the book, but this book was really, really interesting. And something I really loved about this book, and again of David Levithan, is that this story, it has pictures of, let me see if I can find one. It has pictures of of what the person is taking pictures of, like where he is. Here's a picture. This book is pretty dark. I really enjoyed it though, and I really enjoy David Levithan's writing style. This is another book that is written in very, very short, very quick to get through, really good, and I really recommend this one. I don't know that I would pick this one first to be your first David Levithan book, but it's really good and I do recommend it. Perhaps though, one of my most absolute favorite short stories by David Levithan is going to be The Lover's Dictionary, and I actually just ordered a copy of it yesterday from book outlets. So right now I only have it on my Kindle, so I'll go ahead and show you guys the cover. It's gonna look like this. This story is about two characters. It doesn't say names, but it's about two characters told in the perspective of a male. And he is talking about how he has just he meets a girl and how they fall in love. And to me, it hit home so hard. There are some of the, it reminds me of how I met my boyfriend. And granted, there is stuff that happens in this book that has not happened in our relationship, but when I was reading it, sometimes I was thinking, oh my God, this is me and my other half. It hit me so hard, and it was so beautiful, and I couldn't even process it. It's very short. I read it in a couple of hours, but it's very, very good, and it's told in dictionary form. So every single letter of the dictionary is in here, and it says a word, and then the bottom it has the definition of it, and it goes along with the word that it has. The word may not be in it, however, whatever he chose, whatever word he chose, it kind of is reminiscent of the word that he chose, and it's fantastic. And I'm gonna go ahead and read you one of my favorite excerpts of the book. I believe that the word was aloof, and here is what he chose to go along with it. What are you thinking? It's always an act of desperation, and I keep on asking, even though I know it will never work out the way I want it to. I can't even explain how much that hit me. I don't know if you ever have that. You're talking with your other half, you're talking with somebody, and you just want that sweet moment. You're hoping that they're going to be thinking or on the same page as you as far as what it is that you're thinking. And so you ask, and they never give you the response that you are hoping that they were gonna give you. And that hit me so hard. That just right in the feels, that exact line hit me so hard, especially when it says it's always an act of desperation. The Lover's Dictionary goes on like that. I highlighted so many different areas, so many notes within the story where it hit me, and it was so fantastic. So I think that if you're going to start with a David Levithan book, I really think that you should start with The Lover's Dictionary. It was so good, so short, I'm not going to say it was sweet. There were sweet parts, but there were also parts that really hit you. Really hit you. Something also very interesting about David Levithan, and I don't know if y'all are aware of this, but David Levithan is gay. And what I enjoy about David Levithan's writing styles is that some of his books have homosexuality in them. For instance, The Realm of Possibility. It has excerpts in here that are, you know, from two boys' perspective. He has also written Boy Meets Boy, Boy Kisses Boy, I believe. And something that I think is interesting about The Lover's Dictionary is that you could probably take it as a male talking to a male, or you could talk it to about a male talking to a female. You could probably take it as a female talking to a female. It's not really clear, but it's very, very good, and I've really, really enjoyed it. Some other books that are probably more well known of him are going to be the books that he co-writes with authors, namely Dash and Lily's Book of Dares. He wrote this one with Rachel Kahn. Another one is going to be Will Grayson, and he wrote this one with John Green. There's also Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. Naomi and Eli's something or another. He's written several books with co-authors. Rachel Kahn seems to be one of the favorites. All very good. I will admit that I have not read Will Grayson, but that's simply because I like to space out my John Green videos. But yeah, like I said, I just want to talk to you guys really quickly about my favorite author, one of my favorite authors. I highly, highly recommend David Levithan. I highly recommend that you pick up something by him just to see if it's something that it's gonna speak to you. I'm not a huge contemporary reader. I don't particularly care for contemporaries much, but when it has to do with David Levithan, I just cannot help myself. I need to read it. And if you know of any books that are similar to something that David Levithan has written, please let me know so I can check it out. And if you would like to see a specific review over any of the books that I just talked about, please let me know, and I will be sure to go ahead and take care of that. But yeah, let me know what your guys' favorite author is. Let me know what your favorite book by that favorite author is, and I will talk to you guys later.